Hello, we are Team 8, the Kryptonites. This is our Sprint 1 video report and demo. Let's begin with the task board. As we can see here, in the first week we started with installing JMonkey and we started learning the initial toolkit. We also tried exploring some of the APIs that JMonkey had. This task extended onto the second week. From the beginning of the project, we had in mind that we wouldn't be just creating a gumball game. We wanted to create something bigger. And at the end of the second week, we realized that JMonkey would require more effort hours that actually we had. So we decided to switch on to Greenfoot in the third week. Consequently, in the third week, we started with creating user stories. We also experimented how to take user input and also developed the game workflow. We also created some of the graphics required, and which continued over to the fourth week where we created elements and characters required. Moving on to the burn down chart, as we can see here, team started with a very nice pace for the first 2 weeks, and at the end of the second week when we realized that JMonkey actually demanded more number of hours than we actually had, that is when our chart went up high. And after deciding to switch on to Greenfoot, we had a pretty good pace, and we ended the sprint 2 days later than the actually planned date. So this was our task board and our burn down chart. Now let's discuss the Kanban board. This is our Kanban board, and as we can observe here, there are no more requested or in progress items. All the items assigned to everyone have been completed and are now present in the done column. Let us now discuss the individual teamwork that everyone has done in this sprint. My name is Amit, and on the screen you can see the tasks that I completed in the sprint 1. In the week 1, I started working on JMonkey 3 and Blender. I explored some of the APIs of JMonkey 3. In the week 2, I continued with the APIs and I created some of the basic apps that I could with the JMonkey engine. And as discussed, in the week 3, we switched over to Greenfoot, as mentioned earlier in this video. As we had already worked with Greenfoot, we did not have to go through the learning curve of it. That's why we started directly working on the user stories and the requirement gathering of the game. After completing the user stories, Jolent and I started developing the workflow of the game, that is, how the game would actually look like and what all elements would it have. So in the week 4, I started working on the collectibles, making them appear randomly in the world, their positions and everything. So let me just quickly demo what actual work I did in week 4. So this is our world, and the block over here represents the hero of the game. I'll just start moving the hero. For now I have added 5 collectibles to the game, like banana, cherry, pineapple, etc. As you can see on the screen, a pineapple popped up in the world and I can just jump and collect the pineapple. The collectibles would be randomly appearing in the world at different time intervals and at different positions. So the hero can just keep collecting them and the score gets updated every time. So this was my demo. Thank you.
Hello, this is Jainik, and in the sprint 1 I explored the JMonkey engine 3 by following a beginner's tutorial in YouTube. I also created a scene with custom texture and went through few demo games developed using the JMonkey engine to see what kind of games can be made using the tool. I also explored basics of Blender tool to create a 3D object, and after migrating to Greenfoot, I created few user stories for the game and created the background with rotation effect in Greenfoot along with my teammate Jolant. So when I was experimenting with the JMonkey tool, I created a scene with custom texture using the terrain, and as you can see, I also added a few light effects that highlights the terrain. And in the Greenfoot, Jolant and I designed the background of the game, and we also added relative motions to objects like cloud. We added how the life objects of the actor would look like, and to depict how the background would look like when an actor is running or moving, we added a dummy actor, which is the square over here, and we also added the upper limit to which the actor can jump.
Hi, this is Jwalant. In sprint 1, for the initial 2 weeks, I was having 3 tasks to complete. First one is exploring JMonkey API and SDK. Second one is design game workflow and user stories. And third one is create background or base of the game environment. As a part of the first task, I went through some different tutorials and watched some videos on YouTube. And I also understood different game component of JMonkey engine SDK. And as a part of the third task, which is creating the background or base of the game environment, I tried out one tutorial to just get some idea of how the JMonkey SDK works. So here is the sample environment that I have created, and I also gave some effect of lighting, and I added this texture into this environment. I also analyzed some code patterns and provided the lighting effects to this object. And in the third and fourth week, when we realized to switch this game development activity in Greenfoot platform, I was having 2 tasks to complete. First one was game to design game workflow, and second one was to design the graphics, which includes uh, designing the background of the game.
Hi. As a part of Sprint 1, I was responsible for creating a 3D background using the Blender tool. In order to proceed with the same, I downloaded and installed the JMonkey Engine 3 and the Blender tool. There were a few sample games also that I went through in order to learn the basics of JMonkey APIs. Further, I explored the Blender tool to learn how a 3D model or a 3D background is created. Once I developed a basic understanding on how the Blender tool works, I further learned on how to integrate the 3D model or the 3D background in JMonkey in order to include them as a part of the 3D game. However, due to time constraints, the team later decided to develop a 2D game using Greenfoot. So in Greenfoot, I was responsible for creating different obstacle objects needed as per the theme of the game. So here is a demo of what I have implemented. The blue box represents the character. The brown area represents the path or the road along which the character would be moving. I have included obstacles in this game. So these obstacles are a plant, a brick, or a fence. So the character needs to jump over these obstacles in order to continue further in the game and in order to continue collecting the collectibles in the game. So let me just show you how this works. So this is how the character jumps over the obstacles. In case if the character clashes with the obstacles, I have just displayed the message of game over. So that is when the game would actually end.
Hi, I'm Prajakta. I would like to explain you the tasks I completed in Sprint 1. Firstly, we decided to implement the 3D game. For that, I installed JMonkey and Blender, and I studied a few features of JMonkey engine with the help of the tutorial. I also analyzed some of the games done in JMonkey, and that helped me to see the performance of these tools. And I compared JMonkey with Greenfoot to check the feasibility. Later on, as there were time constraints, we decided to do the project in Greenfoot. So my task for this particular game was to develop the hero of the game. So the hero of our game is the skateboard man. So I have basically done the movements of this man based on the arrow keys. So as you see that as when I press the right arrow, it goes ahead, or when I press jump, it just jumps. So I performed a few basic movements of these actors, and I've used 3 different images of this particular skateboard man. So basically for every action of the keyboard I have changed the images and done this move code. So this is the particular code which is implemented